Hey there, so let's talk about something that can feel a little intimidating. The annual outboard motor tune-up. I know, it sounds like something you need a pro for, right? Well, stick with me, because by the end of this, you're going to see that you can totally tackle this yourself. You'll save a bunch of money and, more importantly, get that amazing peace of mind when you're out on the water. All right, let's get into it.
Oh man, who hasn't felt that sinking feeling in their stomach? You know the one. It's a perfect day. The sun's out, and then nothing. Just silence. The engine sputters, it dies, and you're just stuck. This quote, it just hits home, doesn't it? Because a neglected engine, it's not just about ruining a good time. It can leave you stranded, miles from anywhere, and suddenly your adventure is a huge headache. Trust me, that's a moment that really hammers home why we're even talking about this.
Okay, so if the thought of being stuck out on the water isn't enough to get you moving, maybe this will. $150. That's what you can expect to pay per hour at a marine mechanic, sometimes more. So when you realize that a basic tune-up is something you can absolutely do yourself on a Saturday afternoon, well, the math starts to look pretty good, doesn't it? It's not just a good idea, it's a seriously smart move for your wallet.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about why this is so important. Then we'll dive right into the core tune-up, looking at spark and fuel, and then oil and grease. After that, we'll hit the final checks for your prop and power systems. And we'll wrap it all up with some pro tips for keeping that engine happy long-term. Sound good?
All right, first up, why bother with a tune-up in the first place? And believe me, it goes way beyond just saving a few bucks.
And look, these things all feed into each other, right? When your engine is running better, it's also more fuel efficient. That means more time on the water for less money. And, of course, better reliability and safety. I mean, that's the whole point, getting home safe every single time. But you know what? There's also that awesome feeling of accomplishment, knowing you're the one who made it all happen.
Okay, let's get our hands dirty. Section 2 is all about the core of the tune-up, spark and fuel. Think of it like this. These are the air and food for your engine. You get these two things right, and honestly, you've just knocked out like 90% of the problems you might ever run into.
First things first, spark plugs. This is probably the easiest, most satisfying part of the whole job. It's a super simple 4-step process. You're just going to pull out the old plugs, give them a good look to see what they tell you, gap the new ones, and don't worry, your manual tells you exactly how, and then pop them in. Just be gentle and don't crank down on them too hard.
And this is why that second step, inspecting the old plugs, is so critical. Seriously, that old spark plug is like a little window into the soul of your engine. If it looks nice and clean, like a light tan color, you're golden. But if you pull it out and it's all black and sooty, or worse, oily, that's your engine trying to tell you something. It's a clue that you might need to look a little deeper into your fuel system.
Okay, now listen up, because this is a huge pro tip. You want to avoid a really bad, really expensive day? Always start threading the new spark plugs by hand. It's so easy to cross-thread them with a wrench, and that is a nightmare to fix. And like the quote says, get yourself a proper spark plug socket. You know, the one with the little rubber thingy inside? It protects the plug and just makes the whole job way easier and safer.
All right, let's talk fuel. First, your fuel filter. This is your engine's bodyguard, keeping all the gunk out. Swapping this out isn't optional, it's a must-do. While you're in there, run your fingers along the fuel lines. Do they feel cracked, brittle, kind of spongy? If so, replace them right away. A fuel leak is no joke. And last but not least, fuel stabilizer. If you use it every time you fill up, you'll never have to worry about old gas gumming up the works. It's cheap insurance.
Okay, part 3, oil and grease. So if spark and fuel are what make the engine go bang, think of oil and grease as what keeps it from going clank, grind, kaput. This is all about making sure all those fast-moving metal parts play nice together.
Now here's a fluent a lot of people forget about, the lower unit gear oil. And let's be super clear, this is not the same stuff you put in your engine. This is a super thick, tough oil that lives way down in the gear case, bathing the gears that spin your prop. It's a rough life down there, and changing this oil once a year is probably one of the best things you can do for the long-term health of your motor.
So, when you're draining that old gear oil, you've got to play detective again. Take a good look at it. Does it look like a creamy coffee milkshake? Is it all milky and foamy? If it is, that's a major red flag. That means water is getting in, probably from a bad seal. And if you see that, just stop. Don't put new oil in. That's a sign you need to take it to a pro to get that seal fixed first.
We're in the home stretch now. For our last round of checks, we're looking at prop and power. I mean, the engine can be purring like a kitten, but if the propeller can't push you or the battery can't start it, you're still not going anywhere, right?
Your prop, this is literally where the rubber meets the road, or I guess where the metal meets the water. You've got to check it for any dings, chips, or bent blades. You might think a little nick is no big deal, but it can throw the whole thing off balance, cause nasty vibrations, and just destroy your fuel economy. So give it a good look, make sure that main nut is tight, and always use a new cotter pin to keep it that way.
You know what's the absolute worst? Doing all this work, getting everything perfect, and then you turn the key and click, 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 a dead battery. So check its charge. You want to see about 12.6 volts. If you see any of that crusty, fuzzy stuff on the terminals, clean it off with a wire brush, and just give the wires a quick look for any crocks and make sure everything is screwed on nice and tight.
All right, the hard work is done. The engine is tuned up and ready to go. So for this last section, let's talk about a few pro tips to make sure all that effort you just put in really lasts, season after season.
Thinking about maintenance as a yearly cycle makes it way less overwhelming. It's pretty simple, really. Before the season starts, you do this big tune-up we just talked about. Then keep an eye on your hours. Every 100 hours or so is a good time for things like an oil change. And then, at the end of the season, you do a few key things to put it to bed for the winter. It's just a simple rhythm, not a giant chore.
Now, for all you saltwater boaters out there, listen closely. This is probably the most important tip of all. You have to flush your engine with fresh water after every single trip. No exceptions. Salt is like cancer for your engine. It will just eat it away from the inside out. A 5-minute flush is the best defense you have.
And really, that's what this all boils down to. This isn't about being a mechanic or just fixing broken stuff. It's a mindset shift. Being proactive and consistent with this stuff, it's the single best investment you can make in your boat. It buys you reliability, safety, and honestly, just more fun on the water.
So there you have it. You've put in the work, you know your engine inside and out, and you can trust it. You're not just a passenger anymore. You're in control. Now there's only one thing left to ask yourself. Your engine is ready. Where's your next adventure going to be?